Sean Myers of the Westmoreland Sports Network, joined by Tom McIntyre, the new head coach of the Greater Latrobe football program. And first off, Tom, congrats. I'm sure it's very exciting. You've been with the program the last 3 years as the offensive coordinator under Ron Brady. Now it will be your program going forward. So what was the feeling like when you found out that you would be the man to lead this team going forward?
Oh, it was great. Really exciting. Obviously, I have relationships with the kids here, with the staff here, and was really hoping to be able to keep building on what Ron had done for the last few years here and the program in general. Really, have a lot of support from the community, from the school. The kids are excited, so really wanted to kind of take what we've done and keep on that upward trajectory moving forward. And some of the goals that we accomplished, reflecting on that and being happy with it, but also some of the goals that we set and haven't quite reached yet are still out there for us. And, we just got to work today. Today was day one here and our mission to accomplish those with these kids. So I was really excited. My family's excited. My wife has been with me a long time throughout all the different stops I've made in coaching high school football. And she's been a fan all the way. So she was really supportive and still has been. So we're excited. And, our family here at Latrobe as well, with the staff and the kids, I think we're all on the same page here and excited to see what we can accomplish together.
Well, obviously, you're very familiar with the players, and they're very familiar with you. As we said, you've been the OC as long as Ron Brady was there the past 3 seasons. How much do you think that familiarity helped you land this position, and maybe what are some other aspects that stood out about your candidacy that ultimately made you the right choice?
Sure. Even beyond being a coach with Ron here the last few years, I teach 8th grade math here. So a lot of the kids and players that are in our program, I get to know them when they're in 7th grade, when they're junior high students. So started building the relationships with them then, a lot of them had in class and worked with them throughout the school day. And some of them, when they were in 7th grade, some of the ones that are here right now, I wasn't even coaching here at the time. And just knew them and always liked talking football with them and everything. So when we came over here, got to spend an additional 3 years with some of these guys. So really, the seniors that are here right now, this is kind of the 6th year that I've gotten to know a lot of them. Kind of know what motivates them, what makes them strive to be the best they can be, and always try to do that within the classroom, but certainly on the football field as well here. So the familiarity is a great thing. The staff as well, though, it's one thing to have that with the kids, but the guys that we work with here, Ron put together a great staff. And I'm really fortunate to have all those guys back. So when we're talking about the offense that we started here with Ron, we can continue to use our terminology and the things that the kids are familiar with. And as any other year, but certainly this year with the turnover of players, not that everything's going to be the same, and we're certainly going to change and adapt that as needed. But when we call plays, when we talk about things and different adjustments that we make, the kids are familiar with how we talk and how we refer to certain things. Our game planning, our preparation and everything, continue to build on the same routine that we've done here for the last few years. And then on the obviously I've been on the offensive side of the ball here. Prior to coming here, I was coaching the defensive side over at Mount Pleasant. So I see myself now kind of splitting between the two here. And we have a really good staff on offense, really good staff on defense, going to try to move those some positions around a little bit to kind of fit what's best here. But as we move forward and prepare for really the same opponents that we saw last year, the same schedule, just flipping the home and aways here, we also have a lot of familiarity with our opponents, things that worked, things that didn't work, and what we can improve on in this upcoming year and years to come. And, really we're focused right now on Connellsville, week 0 here in the fall. But as we progress through that season here, all of those things are going to be important, and we're going to take a look back and evaluate not just once the season starts, but between now and then, what we can do to improve and how we can get the best out of this group that we have. And certainly having some of those seniors back that have been a part of the program, kind of changing the mentality and changing the culture here. And those kids are winners and believers. And there's never been a game that we've played with this group that they didn't have confidence in and that they didn't feel they were going to go out and compete. And, at the end of the day, win and loss, they have a lot of valuable experience that they're going to carry into their senior year.
Let's talk about the previous head coach, Ron Brady, your familiarity with him, your relationship with him. Was it a situation where you maybe had anticipated he would be stepping down from the position before he actually made that decision? Had he maybe to an extent shown you what it might take to be a head coach in preparation of that decision? And have you heard much from him since you have been named the coach?
Yeah, absolutely. We talk pretty much every day. When I started working here at Greater Latrobe 16 years ago now, he was kind of one of the first guys that I clicked with, and we both had the passion for football and had a lot in common. We both taught math. So long before we ever coached together, we had been good friends, and I learned a lot from him in all aspects of life. He's a great football coach. He's a great family guy. He's a great teacher. And, I've kind of my whole career tried to emulate the things he does and the way he reaches kids, and not just certain kids. Ron has always been one to, if we have 80 kids on the roster, he builds a relationship with all 80 of them. And I think that that's important and something that I hope to continue to do. And, once we started coaching football together, I knew that he wasn't going to be here forever, that it wasn't going to be a very long-term thing with him. Didn't know that it was going to be this year. But as it turned out, that's the way it was. And he was really helpful. And, over the last 3 years, showing me, he knew that this was something I wanted to do eventually. So kind of showing me what it would take, and being able to be here with him and kind of see how he went about his business. And it was a really good example to follow. And in addition to him, I mean, even through the years at other spots, getting to coach with guys like Ray Ritz and Bo Ruffner and Jason Fazikis. I mean, those are, four of the best guys in this county at doing what they did here that I got to kind of see how they did things and learn from. So I hope that, as I take over this role, I hope it's something that I can kind of take the best of all those guys and put that into myself. And that's the coach that I'm going to be.
So I don't think it's a secret. Greater Latrobe football does not have a terrific winning tradition over the past several decades, but Ron Prady, by and large, changed that. He achieved some success that had not been seen since the 60s in many regards. I would imagine that's a good thing overall for the program. That said, it does create a much higher level of expectations that you now face. So how do you embrace that, and how do you consider, I guess, that standard in terms of now future seasons and achieving success?
That was always Ron's mentality. And I know that was the way it was at PT. And you saw the results that he got over there. And when he brought that here, that was always the expectation. And it wasn't just, we were going to try to win 3 games or 4 games, or we weren't going to try to beat certain teams. We were going to try to win every game. And everybody that we stepped on the field against, we were going to be prepared. We were going to be ready. And we were going to take that mentality that whoever it was, we could play with them, we could beat them. And it really didn't matter. It wasn't picking and choosing, the certain opponents that you think you could get. It was every week. And I don't think we approached any week, no matter who we played, any different. And I know that that's my mentality moving forward. Obviously, we turned over a lot of quality football players, kids that are going to be going on playing at the next level, kids that set records here that have an endless number of accolades that they've accomplished here over the last few years. But at the same time, we have a lot of kids that got experience over the last couple of years that are going to be coming back. And my expectation doesn't change. And I know that that's always something. One thing I really learned from Ron is to just never be content in our work. Even today, as we start in the weight room, whether it's in the weight room, whether it's in the summer, we get into the 7-on-7 season. And I think that expectation needs to be held high. And that's the only way that we're ever going to reach it, is to hold that high expectation. And, no matter what we get into, when we're lifting, we got to make the best of it. We got to get better each day. Today was our first day, and we said it's got to be the best day one that we're going to have. Tomorrow's got to be the best day too. And, as we get into our mini camp and into our summer, we're going to make up for a little bit of missed time. Most programs have started at the beginning of January, so we're a few weeks behind. We got to make that time up. And not just in the weight room here, but we're going to be in the classroom. We're going to be talking about some of those changes that we're going to do offensively and defensively, reviewing some of those concepts we talked about. And, we have great facilities here at Latrobe, and we really have a benefit. As soon as it's nice out, once the snow melts and the weather gets warmer, after our lift, we spend a lot of days outside on the field going over some of these things, going over plays, going over coverages and things. And really, I think that's something that we can be proud that we've done the last few years, is we've been as prepared as anybody. And that all starts right now. So my expectation is we're gonna know, our kids are gonna know the offense inside and out by the time we get started. They're gonna know the defense. They're gonna know checks that we make, and that's the goal. The goal is that when we step on the field against Connellsville, our goal is to perform the best that we have at any point since we've all been together. And then we head on to the next week. It's going to continue to be the same.
Lastly, you mentioned you've been working in the district for quite a while now. You've had 2 different stints on the staff as a coach. But for those maybe who aren't all that familiar with you, what is your message to the Latrobe community or to Greater Latrobe football fans?
I can't say enough. In the last week, it's been kind of a whirlwind here with a lot of stuff coming in every which direction, kind of getting in place and making sure we're ready to go and we're ready to begin the season. But I can't say enough about the support and how good that's felt from the community, from the staff in the school, not just the football staff, but our family here at Greater Latrobe, the administration, the school board, everybody that I've talked to, everybody I've been in communication with. This is a football town, and I think football plays a big part in the history here at Latrobe. Whether you're talking the Steelers at St. Vincent or the birthplace of professional football, things like that. And it is very obvious here that this community loves football. They love these kids, and it's a big community event on Fridays here. For the past, since I've been here, I've been up in the booth, and sometimes it's pretty overwhelming to take just a step back and look and see the crowds that we get, the excitement and the support there. So, I moved here 5 years ago. My family and we bought a house here. I have a daughter that's in first grade here. My son will go here. So, we're Latrobe through and through. And, I didn't go to school here, but in the time that I've worked here, I really bought into that and realized what a great place it was. And, educationally and athletically, there's a ton of support here. And ultimately, that's why I decided I wanted to be here. I wanted to live here. I wanted my kids to be a part of that. And it's truly something special. And anybody that gets a chance to come to a Friday night game and see that, it doesn't take long to get that special feeling that you see in Latrobe on a Friday.
Well, Tom, thanks so much for doing this. Of course, we appreciate your time. Good luck. We'll certainly be following you this fall on the sidelines.
All right. Thank you, Sean.